Actually, yeah. Do you each have like a little piece, like a different game to talk about? Do we want to go into the main topic first, or do we want to talk about small things before going into the big topic?
I don't know. There's no need to put yourself down.
Yeah, I didn't prepare for that really.
Okay, cool.
I mean, I can just
Nor
bring
have
up a game
I.
that I'm playing. So
You're playing it right now. You're playing Cookie Clicker again.
no, it's World of Warship still. No, it isn't.
Oh,
Although it kind of is, but more other games as well.
oh, that's good. There's a hole in my jeans. Anyway.
Nice segue. What I'm going to think about now for the next hour is that hole in your jeans. Thanks.
It's very badly placed as well. Have you started recording?
Tactically placed.
Great. This can go in the bloopers.
Yeah, it's going to go at the start of the video, of course. So do you want to just say hi to everyone? Or?
Hey guys, and welcome to this new edition of the Tactical Difficulties podcast. Woo!
Whoa.
We haven't done one of these in over 2 years. Under? No.
Close to
I
2
can't
years.
fucking remember.
Under 2 years, but still, it's bloody close.
It's been a while.
Back by
Crocodile.
unpopular demand.
Yeah, no one asked for this except for me, and because I apparently hold some sway over these two people, we're doing it.
They got me recording it, you fucking bellend.
Total power.
It's almost like we like you or something.
Yeah, I like you too, guys. I've missed you.
I bought your burger.
I just got interrupted by my dad. Great start. Anyway.
Invite him on, he can talk about Total War, surely. Actually, even better, he could replace you.
Whoa. You sound slightly more French as well. That should be good. Anyway, this podcast is back because I thought we should have a little discussion, since we'd like to discuss new Total War games and the fact that Total War 3 Kingdoms was announced at the start of this year. It's set in feudal China. What actual date is it set?
It's like just give me 2 seconds. It's from like 190 to something after that.
Oh man, it's really early then.
I got the FAQ, but yeah, hang on.
I've got the FAQ. I've got the FAQ.
We've all done the same thing. To Google. Yeah.
So
pretty early.
So damn, 190. I mean, this is like one of the historical eras I know like nothing about. Or
I googled.
I know nothing about.
I have googled quite a lot today, so I'm somewhat knowledgeable, but not really.
Resident historian, Cicero.
I mean, you have a history education as well.
Yes, that is true.
Yeah.
Well, it's from 220 to 280. That's
Okay.
the Three Kingdoms period.
Cool. That sounds good. It will be released in autumn of this year, or fall for those of you who are American and speak gibberish.
Fucking
So autumn of this year. Of course, we have Thrones of Britannia in spring, so that's coming soonish. Before that.
Yes.
So there's quite a lot of awesome stuff coming out for Total War for the historical people who've had to wait like 2.5 years for something new. Oh, except for the Aurelian DLC for Rome 2, but that was like a bit weird.
What? I'm not even aware of this.
The
Empire Divided.
Fallen Empire Divided. That's it for Rome 2.
Huh. Oh.
Did you not?
Nope.
This has been out of the loop for a very long time.
You know, when suddenly the series take a 2-year break from anything historical to go down the Warhammer route, suddenly a guy that isn't interested in Warhammer at all, he kind of checks out.
Fair. But yeah, no, Rome 2 got a DLC like September last year.
Something like that, I think it was. Let me go into Steam and have a look.
I haven't got it installed, so I can't quickly get.
I haven't got it either. I just didn't really care. I
didn't really care either.
Oh no, I did see this, but I did see like the promotional art for this, so I was aware of this thing, but I didn't know that it was gold.
It's $11.99 and it's got mixed reviews on Steam.
Yeah, I think the reason I hear that it's okay, like it's not great, but it's not terrible. But I feel like a lot of people were like, "Why did you release this for Rome 2?"
I think people moved on, haven't they?
Yeah, I think a lot of people still played Rome 2, to be fair, when Attila was released, because Attila was like okay. But then when Charlemagne was released and like loads of mods were released for Attila, so people were just playing Attila. So they released this like maybe a year too late. But hey, whatever, CA, whatever. So that was an interesting thing. So we had that, and then now we've got Thrones of Britannia coming, which is going to be very interesting.
Do we know the factions yet for that?
Kind of. I think they did similar to with Warhammer 2 when they released that, and they had the map with like a massive faction list. I think they did the same, did they not? For Thrones of Britannia?
They haven't actually announced individually what each faction's going to be. They're going to be using the historical faction names. So,
that's convenient.
So like Mercia, and I'm probably going to butcher some of the pronunciations here. Shut up. Like Mercia is Miers or Mirch or
God.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there we go. I'm seeing the map right now.
Yeah.
Just tell me about the Norwegians. Maybe Northumbria, maybe? I don't know. Any Norwegians there?
Yeah, the Norwegians will probably be there because at that point they own like the Shetland Islands, don't they?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, Shetlands.
I think there is like a Viking
who breeds
point to it. So I wouldn't be surprised if the what are they called? If the Norwegians were there.
Yeah, if we get shafted again.
So this game, Friends of Britannia, is based on the Medieval 2 DLC Britannia, obviously. Were the Norwegians in there?
Yeah. The Norwegians were in there, so should be.
Yeah, it makes sense that they would be.
This is set a little bit earlier, I think, than the Britannia DLC, though.
Is it? Oh yeah, no, it would be, of course.
This is set during sort of King Alfred.
No, yeah, you're right, of course. No, I fucked up. I fucked up my game so bad.
I would guess it'd probably be Northumbria, Mercia, and Wessex as the sort of.
Yeah, it's going to be the same era as the Old Gods for Crusader Kings 2, isn't it? But with only Britain.
Yeah, and then
like 800 something.
Yeah. So it'll be
still in the middle of the Viking Age, so.
Yeah, the Vikings. I think this might be marginally too early for the Viking Age, but the Viking Age might be like a event in the game.
The Vikings, they started in like 1790. No, 790. 1790. Yes.
Yeah.
after the American War of Independence, right after that.
It's a massive map as well. It's 23 times bigger than the Britain in Attila.
Yeah, I mean, that's still not as big as the Attila map, but yeah, I'm assuming it would be quite sizable.
I'm assuming from that logic that
it's probably as big as like the old world map from Warhammer 1 then.
It's probably the same sort of scale, I would have thought.
For Stisra, who's never played that game, pretty big.
Yes. Sure. I've heard it's big.
Yeah, no, that's good. I'm looking. I don't know if I'll get. I probably will get the game. What am I talking about? Yeah, I'm interested in seeing how it goes. I think a lot of people, when they released the Alfred trailer before Christmas, I think it was, and a lot of people were very annoyed because it was using the Attila engine and the same animations from Attila. A lot of people were annoyed because they feel like it's not different enough.
I think as well, like I'm currently playing the Age of Vikings mod for Attila, which is pretty much the same thing, and as it's the same engine, then it's almost like people can play something that's very similar to this already.
Yeah.
So are they not going to use the Warhammer engine?
No.
Huh.
The Warhammer.
They're going back to the old engine.
I think Thrones of Britannia was in production before Warhammer was released, though. If I'm not mistaken.
Then it's been in development for a long time.
Yeah, but before it was released, not before it was like before Warhammer was in production. So it's only been like a year and a bit. Because Warhammer came out 2016 April, so actually, yeah, over a year ago. I don't know. I might be speaking bullshit, to be fair. But yeah, I think it's fair enough that people see it as like not too much of a step up. But then again, it is a It's the first title in the Total War saga. Is it called Saga?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the saga
So
thing.
it's like small scale Total War, just one campaign. It's going to be half the price, like most likely, which is still going to be like 25, 29 quid, or like €4. No, it won't be €4. How much is? Oh yeah, 25. Yeah, probably. Either way, going to be quite expensive.
I'm quite surprised they haven't got the price for it on the store page yet. I've got it on my wish list, and
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not out until spring, which means that at the earliest it could be out March, at the latest it could be out end of May.
I guess.
So it's still quite a while.
Ah, yes, they released spring 2018. I remember when. What was it? I believe it was like some shooter game I was waiting for getting released. It was going to be released fall, and fall lasted very long that year. Into next year, even.
I think Bannerlord was supposed to be like fall 2017 as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Huh.
It's a lot of
That's
things.
not out, is it?
No.
What's the same?
Nope.
Warhammer was originally meant to be released in April and it was released in May, so we'll see how long spring is this year for Total War. No, I think this is probably quite a ready game. They're just working out the kinks. I think it's going to be quite. We probably see quite a lot of new, like little bits and bobs, because with the Rome 2 DLC that they released, there was a lot of new mechanics with the terms of politics and stuff. So I think they're still working out all of those stuff. So we might see some new stuff from Thrones, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. I think they're also playing on the popularity of TV shows such as The Last Kingdom and Vikings as well. It's almost like the perfect time to release a game like this in this era, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. But where we're going to see most of the new features will be in the new, proper, full-scale historical Total War 3 Kingdoms in China. We don't really have much to go on other than the very short FAQ, which was literally just wait and see.
I laughed so much at the FAQ because obviously it got leaked, didn't it, the day before they actually wanted to do the announcement. And I was reading the FAQ. When's it releasing? Globally fall 2018. And then it's go, how big is the map? And it sort of says it's going to be sort of quite big, fit to scale, China, 3 Kingdoms period, blah, 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 blah. And then it's got, will it be a early adopter bonus or collector's editions? We'll announce any news around these in due course. What about the modern support? We'll announce this near the time. What about physical product or digital only? We'll release more details on this poster release. What are the minimum and recommended specs? Again, and they actually put this on the thing. Again, it's a little early to confirm, but if you follow us on social media, you'll be the first to know.
The FAQ. I hope that they're not just going to release, when like closer to the time, they're not going to release a separate FAQ and they're just going to update this one, because then that would make sense as to why he's got all of this. But it's like, what was the point? Like, it made no sense. But the trailer was amazing.
Yeah, it looked good.
The trailer.
Yeah, although it did have me quite concerned for historical accuracy, which I know is a big discussion for this. It's like, are they going to go the whole Romance of the 3 Kingdoms thing and have them be more like hero characters? Or are they actually going to be like a historical Chinese warfare for the 3 Kingdoms period?
So I had a short discussion with one of my friends about this. I can't remember who it was. Probably not a good friend then. Might be my brother. And I think that from how we saw the trailer, with the fact that with the 3 like hero units, they sort of looked like hero units that were taking out people left, right, and center, sort of like champions. I think it's possible that there will be that kind of similar thing to Warhammer, where you can use agents in the battlefield or on the campaign map, and they have like a separate skill tree to lords. But I don't think you're going to have the ridiculous overpoweredness that they do. Like, they're not going to be like 7 times the size of a normal dude like they are in Warhammer.
Well, that's good. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how powerful they are, because if they can take out like hundreds and hundreds of men, then then I have a few worries about that.
But it could be just that. I don't know. It just feels very strange, because I think if you're going to do it historically, while still having like a hero unit, then it should be like a smaller generals unit where you have the guy and then like a small retinue around him, just like as his bodyguards kind of thing. Like they did like with Shogun 2, where you've got like your generals with their bodyguards. And yeah, I don't know. It seems it's a really like hard line to walk on, because you don't want to make it too much like Warhammer, but the heroes in Warhammer are really cool because you get really like invested in them, which is something that a lot of people really enjoy about that. And I think CA might want to hope that they get the same kind of feeling without making them like, oh yeah, this hero can take on 200 dudes.
Yeah, I mean, there's the balance to, do you want to appeal to like historical Total War players, or do you want to appeal to people who love the Romance of the Three Kingdoms? Because I did see on the Reddit thread a lot of people basically saying that this is the thing I've been dreaming of forever. I love this time period. I've seen like everything that has to do with the time period. There's everything. So what will they do? That's going to be interesting.
That sounds an awful lot like Rome 2 others as well. What I've been waiting for all this time. Let's get on flashbacks then.
Yeah, it hasn't been done better before.
Yeah,
that's the difference.
Indeed. It will be interesting to see. I'm looking forward to seeing what the new campaign mechanics they are going to release for this game. Because when Rome 2 came out, even though it was a complete garbage on launch, it did have a bucket load of new features, things that we'd never seen before in Total War. Things that have been like improved since then. So I don't know what else they can. Like, I'm excited to see what new features they're going to bring in with this one.
Yeah, and if this is going to be like a new step in the series, or if it's just like based on the Rome 2 engine and just Rome 2 system but set in China, or like the Warhammer system, I guess, set in China.
Let's hope it's not. I don't think it would be, because there's no flying units in China. I don't think at that point, unless they like randomly summon dragon.
Look, Daddy, it's a flying Chinaman. Yeah.
Well, I guess in all those kung fu movies, you see Chinese people flying. So.
Yeah.
Released January 2019, the Jackie Chan DLC. Get it now. Yeah, God. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do. I think we'll know a lot more once Thrones of Britannia comes out, obviously, because that's the first game in this Total War Sagas thing. What do you think's going to be other areas they're going to explore, though, like other time periods with the Total War Sagas franchise? Because I know a lot of people have been asking for like a Victoria era kind of Total War.
Yeah, but I think
I would argue that the eras was for the samurai, because it was like the same thing as Shogun 2, but just another time period.
I think that's what they're going for. Like Fall of the Samurai, if they had thought of the saga like thing before, would have been a saga game rather than a like separate Shogun 2 expansion for Shogun 2.
Yes.
So, and I think Victoria, if they're going to make a correct Victoria game, like a Victoria game that is going to be great, it'll be a full-scale historical Total War, because they're going to try and make it, if not just Europe, global. So
yeah, I mean, they would have to make the campaign map like really small.
Well, I don't know, because in with Warhammer, they've got their Mortal Empires, which are two of the games together. They've successfully done that with some, obviously, problems, as is CA's prerogative. But they have managed to stick two of them together. So it could be that they're going to go for a like Victoria-ish era thing, or like a new like Empire 2, and like have several different things, and then eventually the map will like join together to have a global view of the world.
Yeah, but that also kind of depends on all of them being designed at the same time period.
Yeah,
yes.
It wouldn't work otherwise, would it?
Yeah, and what I was going to argue is that you can't really have Victoria 2 as a saga game, because yes, as you said, it's too large for that. And if you localize it, it's basically going to be Fall of the Samurai, but in this place.
Yeah,
this very localized place in the world. Maybe like you know what
you could have.
You know what? You know what could work? The American Civil War could work, for example.
Yeah. For a saga, yeah, definitely. Yeah,
and that is the same time period, but in the United States.
Yeah, definitely could do that. But I was thinking, if you're going to go for a historical Victoria, if they do it the same way as Warhammer, and then they have 3 games that piece together in like a huge grand battle map, if you have all 3 games, you could have like Total War Victoria Europe. So you have like all the issues going on in Europe and all like the wars. I know they didn't really go to war that much, but well, unless you were Germany, but yeah. And then you have like Total War Victoria Americas. So you have like what's going on there, and then Total War Victoria Asia, and then like stuff going on there, and then eventually you can piece them all together in like one huge map. I don't know, but then you'd also need Africa. But I don't know. Just idea, throwing it out there. Do with it what you will.
Yeah, the problem with all of this is basically it has to be the same time period.
Yeah,
and that kind of restricts things a bit.
Yeah, it does.
Then the argument is like, why do you just not make a big version, a full version of all of this?
We're going to announce new Total War Epic. We're just go global.
Yes. The year is 870 in or 817 in Europe, but it's 1638 in Japan. Just stitch it together. That's gonna work.
Yeah, I feel like every single Medieval 2 DLC could technically be a saga. When you think,
I mean, it kind of is.
Kind of is, yeah. Because you could
again, the thing you said is basically we had Total War Sagas kinda earlier, just wasn't called that, and it was a DLC of a bigger game, or well, expansion packs,
or just the same game but up a notch.
Yes. Remember when expansions were actually like a big addition to a game?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I played War of the Chosen for XCOM 2. Nothing is big.
Yeah, fair enough.
There are some out there, but yeah, I feel like this is the really good direction for CA to go in, and I'm excited to see the future. Hopefully, their games won't be as buggy as the previous games.
Well, good luck with that.
Yeah, I think that's always going to be in every Total War game, hasn't it? Pretty much.
Yeah, but I feel like none has ever been as bad as Rome 2, and no launch has ever been as good in recent times as Attila.
True.
So it's
well, Attila had its problems that just never got fixed. I remember
they weren't,
but it was good. It was like decent at launch, but it had those problems that became evident, and then they just weren't fixed. So if they start out with Attila and you have a good game with some flaws, and then you actually fix the flaws, then that would be the ideal. But yeah. Basically, at this point, anything that's not Rome 2 levels of disasters, I'm fine with.
Another question.
Look at how broken we are when that is like the
I know, right?
What we accept.
Well, it's like that thing of a lot of people are excited for this game, but how many people that are excited for this game lived through the Rome 2 like experience? Because that was like 6 years ago now.
Yeah,
2013. So yeah,
September 2013. Man.
Yeah.
September.
But so, you know,
September. Yeah.
It's like this is a thing that us as people who went through the disappointment, we're just like, we don't want that ever to happen again.
Well, it's like for us, certainly for me, the internet sort of exploded. Like the Total War community just went kaboom. Yeah. You know, the amount of stuff that's gone, the memes. Look at the memes you got of all like the zombie-fied sort of Romans and stuff. They're still all out there now.
Yeah.
You know, there's been videos of people taking the piss out of this sort of thing. Angry Joe's review of Rome 2. I mean, it's evidence enough just that. You know, it almost killed the franchise off.
Well, it definitely shaked a lot of, it destroyed a lot of our confidence in it, and then subsequent launches weren't that big of disasters. So
yeah.
Well, I think as well, a lot of people are very happy with the way Warhammer's happened, and it has got a lot of new players interested in it, and it's been very family-friendly kind of Total War, very basic, and but this new historical period will be good for us, like old
Old school.
Well, I mean, yeah, the original fans basically are going to be happy that they're going to get their stuff back. Basically.
Yeah, I was gonna say that basically, looking at the state of the Total War subreddit, at least, a lot of people are there because of Warhammer now, and that's the new reality of things.
Yeah.
And
but then again, back in the day when it was Rome 2 and Attila, everyone was there for Rome 2 and Attila. You know, it's just they're the most recent games, so they're probably the ones that a lot of people are talking about. So it could be that a lot of people
just because they are just because they are new.
Yeah.
Or
you know, they still got DLC being released, so
yeah, that's true. Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, Total War hasn't really done anything in 2 years. But that's just because I haven't really done anything with Total War in 2 years.
Even though I've been playing Warhammer games, I've still felt like Total War's not really doing anything at the moment, is it? And I'm like playing this Total War Warhammer, like this is a totally different game.
Yeah, I mean, Warhammer 2 came out like under a year ago, right? April? Yeah. That was also April, so...
Did it come out April? I can't remember when the hell it came out.
I think so, maybe.
I think it was August.
Yeah, I think it was August as well.
I'll ignore me then.
I mean, you don't play the game, so...
Yeah, how would I know?
It was released... Okay, we're all wrong. It was the 28th of September, 2017. So it's not been out that long. It's only been out for 4 months. Actually, it was 4 months yesterday. So,
what do you think of the frequency of the amount of games they release each year now? Because they are starting to become a lot like.
Well, they have 3 teams, so
yeah,
it is starting to become a bit like Guitar Hero.
Yeah, I was going to say Call of Duty, but Guitar Hero also works in this instance.
I mean, Call of Duty still has it at one game per year, but now it's set for 2 games a year.
Yeah,
I'm not going to complain about that, but yeah, once again.
As long as the games are good.
I mean, I keep seeing job listings from CA.
Yeah.
So I mean, as long as enough people are involved with each game, and they don't take and divide up the number of staff, and basically cut the number of staff working on each game, which I assume they don't. So as long as enough people are working on each of the games, then I'm not really concerned. But it might become a point of saturation for the series.
So I don't know, because they've got such a wealth of historical periods, and they're going into new ones now. And
they got all the historical periods.
Exactly, they've got everything from the past is just open. They could do Total War Jesus.
Oh, fucking hell.
Biblical warfare.
Yeah, you have Mary and Judas as the fucking DLC, probably, is it? I was going to say, finally, you mentioned the jobs for Creative Assembly. Both of you have watched Darren Total War before, haven't you?
Yeah.
He's got a new channel now, Republic of Play, and I was watching one of his videos recently. He did a Q&A over Christmas, and some of the questions were regarding how he left his job. Apparently, he said he didn't really handle it very well, but he talked about how people he worked with, he didn't get on with them, and he didn't like the sort of mindset some of the staff at Creative Assembly. Sort of said that they were very much juniors to him. He was like the new guy, but there's people coming in after him, and there's a high turnover of staff. Yeah, which doesn't sound like a very good place to work on the outside, does it?
So that's why there's so many job listings.
Yeah, basically, yeah. But he was saying it was weird because he hadn't been there long, and then he'd have like junior staff asking him what to do, and he's like, I don't know if I'm clear, I've only been there like 6 months. So yeah.
Maybe they have a managerial problem then. They don't have good managers.
Maybe.
Well, hopefully it's different with the developers and not the... what was his job again? Like community related?
Person,
yeah.
He said he didn't like doing the live streams on Twitch. You know when they had like a DLC?
Oh yeah.
They'd always do like a Twitch live stream, sort of releasing it as early access, and then like the YouTubers would get their hands on it like a day or two after that.
Oh, yeah.
He used to hate being fake on the camera, and he said it was horrible. The mindset was, you need to get this DLC. This DLC is awesome, and he said you wouldn't. Rather than him just sit down and play it, he had to sort of promote it and be sort of, this DLC is the best thing ever since Rome 2.
Yeah.
So
that doesn't take much.
It doesn't take much. But he said I mean, I suppose.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
sense,
the thing is, if you work for a company, you have to sell the company's stuff.
Yeah.
So it kind of makes sense.
Fair
profit
enough.
is the most important thing.
Yeah, but also it makes sense that he's not very happy with it because if the DLC is good, then it should sell itself.
Exactly, yeah. I can sort of see both points of view, but I definitely recommend watching his video. It's only like the first 15 minutes of the video as well. It's like 2 hours long, the actual full
Jesus
stream.
Christ.
Yeah, it's like a massive Q&A, but the first sort of 15 to 20 minutes are dedicated to Total War and his sort of role when he was at the company. He said he can't talk too much about certain things because he signed an agreement with them, but he did sort of touch upon it.
Yeah.
Quite interesting.
It's fair.
I got the subreddit by year for Total War, and I just looked now. Someone posted 3 months ago, what are some cool possible ideas for Total War sagas? The Norman invasion. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
And then they actually like laid it out properly. So playable factions, Kingdom of England.
Wasn't that the tutorial of Medieval 2?
Yeah. It was Battle of Hastings, I think it was. Or
yeah, I think so.
Like that was the tutorial battle. Kingdom of Scotland, Kingdom of Norway, Duchy of Normandy. They've put those 4 factions as the playable map, a huge detailed map.
Yeah, it would be. It's basically would be Thrones of Britannia 1066 is what it would be.
But
yeah, which is Total War Kingdoms, like the
I feel
the
like
medieval thing with just set. So it's basically Britain again.
But I feel I feel this is the problem. I feel like a lot of people are focusing too much on Britain. Yeah. What things that would be interesting would be things like the Reconquista in Spain.
I was going to say that, like the formation of the Kingdom of Asturias and Pelagius of Asturias, the first king, because they've got good battles they can do, like the Battle of Covadonga and the Umayyad conquest.
It's got loads of interesting shit.
Yeah, there's got a lot of figures and battles there that are really interesting. So they never really explored that, have they? The whole Reconquista period.
No, not really.
That's one thing they haven't done.
You could have the what's his face? I'm thinking of super cool stuff that happened in Crusader Kings 2 that they could do in Total War. But who's that in I can't remember. The guy who goes into Russia, the Viking dude. Was it Ragnar? They're all called Ragnar, they're all Vikings.
Yeah.
Ragnar something beard. Yeah,
I can't remember what it was, but basically there's a Viking dude went into went into Russia and formed the Kingdom of Rus.
Yeah, there's quite a lot. There's a lot of stuff.
Even the Crusade.
Also like the also like the which you kind of touched upon earlier, the rise of the is the Umayyad is the first caliphate? I can't remember. But basically when they kind of rose up out of Arabia and destroyed part of the Eastern Roman Empire. And was that time not the Sassanids, but was the Sassanids? Maybe.
Yeah, I think. I don't know, but it was. I mean, there's a load of small. What's great about having a snippet is that there's a lot of shit that you can do with it, because you could be like, oh, we're going to focus on this one country's thing during the 50-year period, or things like that. So there's a lot of interesting stuff that they could do. I would really like a Reconquista of that. Would be really cool.
Yeah. They I think as well with the way they market, they could definitely go down that route as well, because with these sort of closed in focused campaigns, they could say, right, we'll do how the Normans conquered Sicily, for example. And then you have you got the Italian market, haven't you, and all that sort of going through enlarged Italy, and then the Reconquista of Spain and Iberia and all that. They can aim towards Iberian, Portuguese, Spanish, Hispanic people.
I think the Sengoku Jedi would also be a good period for us.
It's totally unexplored, never done before.
Yeah.
But I would also really like to have I think the issue is that because of the way I studied history and the way I think most people study history is to look at it through Europe. I think it'd be really cool to have Total War set outside of Europe, just like the Three Kingdoms, which is set in China, or the Sengoku Jidai Shogun 2, but seeing things like the Indonesia
Africa.
Or the thing about Africa is that nothing happened there except the Boer War. When the Europeans arrived, that's when stuff happens.
Well, stuff happened, but the problem with Africa is that people never wrote anything down.
Yeah, true. It was
mostly
all verbal history,
so we don't really know.
There's
That's the major problem there.
unless we're talking about like Egypt or like North Africa and that kind of thing, we could have Alexander, a second Alexander campaign.
Remake Alexander.
Why not?
Still kind of Europe though.
Yeah, but it involves so much of like.
Get India though, don't you?
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, you
it's
could have the
Europe,
the Mughal invasion of India, for example, something around that.
Yeah,
I remember that basically every change of dynasty in China basically centered around a war where the previous one was toppled.
You could have Genghis Khan and just have like,
of course,
be a Mongol,
and have it kind of centered around, well, as him as the center, kind of, and not have Europe be on the defensive from him, as we have in Medieval 2.
Yeah,
and I would argue to a certain extent in Attila, just with an early version of him.
Yeah, a historical early version of him.
Yes, I mean, it's basically the Mongols are invading, but it's the Huns, and
I think it'd be really interesting to get a Total War centered around the Ottoman Empire at the start of it, like when it took over, when it takes over the Byzantine.
So 1446.
Yeah, that'd be good.
That would be really cool. But once again, it is Europe. But in that case, it's like
that
Turkey.
is true.
But I mean, the thing is that Europe was so prominent historically, like so much shit happened in Europe, whereas like, and they wrote about it, and then so much shit happened in China, but they were so big that you can't fit it on a saga campaign map.
Well, I mean, if you just limit yourself to China,
you got it. Yeah,
still going to be big, but once again, it's down to how many provinces. It's just down to how many provinces you choose to divide things up into. It's like in Rome 2, you had how many provinces for the entirety of Britain? Like 5, 6. And now this thing. How many did you say that we had? Like 60 something.
Yes, they've gone quite high in number.
Yeah, so it's just a matter of how many provinces do you want?
That's true.
They've got 6 building slots for Throne to Britannia. It's just caught my eye just then. They've actually increased the building slots.
I mean, that's pretty okay.
They've been doing that with Warhammer 2 though, haven't they?
Yeah.
I think those are good. I think they want to give you, because the thing about the original like Medieval 2 and Rome Total War is that you could have as many as you want. It didn't fucking matter. So I think whereas they limited it hugely with Rome 2 and onwards, I think with Warhammer they're trying to get that more. Oh yeah, you're not limited as much as to what you want to build anymore. And I think they're trying to get it halfway between, holy shit, what the fuck do I build? This is so confusing, and I have no choice. I have to build this.
I was gonna say, it's as long as we have a choice, and choice actually matters.
Yeah.
As long as it's not, I have to build this happiness-providing building because this thing that actually gives me good units gives also like filth, squalor, and that makes people unhappy. Stuff like that. But yeah, how do you balance that? Well, that's not my job, but it's my job to criticize it.
That's quite funny. Nice segue.
It's not my job, but it would be if CA actually
some poor sod's job.
He's there like sweating profusely. He's like, oh no, I don't know what to do.
Oh no, that sounds like a Rome 2 developer right there.
No, that Rome 2 developers were like, yeah, it'll work.
That guy, I'm gonna have to find the image I'm sharing on Discord. That developer for Rome 2 he got absolutely lynched.
Is he dead now?
He probably is.
Might as well be.
No, he became like a meme. He actually became like a meme.
I'm not surprised.
I mean, I instantly knew what you were talking about. Who you were talking about? It's like that guy. Oh, that guy. Yeah.
Oh, I found him already. I'm gonna share this.
Did you write Total War developer liar or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just hope Three Kingdoms doesn't launch badly, because I don't think CA can really afford that, because then it will be a second. Because Warhammer's launched so well that for the historical title to fuck up would just put the nail in coffin for historical titles.
Yeah, I mean, if looking at the sales numbers with these two titles compared to Warhammer, that's going to be interesting because Warhammer has sold pretty well.
Yeah, it has.
And if there's something I don't want, it's for Total War to become basically Warhammer.
Yeah, I don't particularly want. I mean, I don't think they will because I don't think Games Workshop want to give them the license any longer.
Probably not. I don't know.
What
But
do you
if they are successful enough and bring them enough money, then
But
who knows?
then I don't think the people who play Total War Warhammer play the tabletop version. But I think it's the other way around. The people who play the tabletop version play the game because
People.
no, it's that, and also because the tabletop version of Warhammer, in the way it's presented in Total War Warhammer, is no longer valid. And Games Workshop is currently working. Like last year, Games Workshop was had the highest stock value growth in the whole of the UK because they released a new edition for their science fiction Warhammer 40,000, and that like blew them. Like I think it increased by like 200%, like their stock value.
Wow!
In just that last 6 months of the year, it was it's an incredible game. Like as someone who plays it, it's fucking incredible. But I don't think that Total Warhammer had like any reason as to why that stock went up. So I don't think that Games Workshop really care much for it. I think they see it more as these guys are advertising a game we no longer do. Whoops.
Who knows?
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't talk for Games Workshop, so I mean they might do, but I don't think it is I don't think it's that much of a money giver for Games Workshop. But it's really nice. I think it's nice of them that those of us who really enjoy the Warhammer and not Age of Sigmar, that we can still live those tabletop battles in digital form, because we can't do it anymore on the tabletop. It's a sad time.
It's completely impossible.
Well, it's not. I still play it every week, but that's not the. There's just no new updates for it.
I think I know. What do you think? Look, they've done the whole Warhammer trilogy. Do you think this may open the door?
I have no idea.
Other, fantasy settings, other IPs they can perhaps pick up.
Oh man,
I mean, we talked about this like 2 years ago,
Yeah.
and I think the answer is still the same. It would be cool, but who knows?
Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
it all depends.
we
I
haven't
think
heard
the
anything.
success of Warhammer means that they are more likely to get another one if they want
Yes, that has happened. We have seen the sales numbers.
Yeah.
Since
So I
then.
think that's great. Also, I would like to know, I have no fucking idea what they're going to release for Warhammer 3, because my initial thought was that Warhammer 3 was going to be Tomb Kings and Africa, but that's in Warhammer 2. So fuck what I know. The only thing I can think about is that they expand into the old world version of Russia, which is the Badlands, and add Japan into it, which would be interesting, but I don't think it would be very, like... I don't know. The part of the world isn't on the tabletop like at all. It's barely in the lore. It's only like written in like one paragraph of the whole of the. It's just really strange.
Yes. What races are supposed to dwell there?
In Japan, Nippon.
Yeah, and that is like humans.
Yeah. It's literally just
Okay.
It's literally just feudal Japan, but with they have spirits. They have oni. They have and the samurai units are fucking insane. But it was an unofficial codex that was launched. It wasn't an actual army book.
Oh.
And they also haven't released the Ogre Kingdoms yet, so we know they're coming. And they're coming. They live in the lore in the Badlands, which is the Russian part of the old world.
So it's like Russian setting, but with Shogun 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. I don't know.
And like Shogun 2 off to the side, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell they want to do, because it could just be that they just, I don't know.
And you call yourself a Warhammer fan?
I'm so confused. I mean, I'm so happy that they managed to fit so much into the vortex into Warhammer 2, but it's like, what will Warhammer 3 have if they've already fit so much into this?
So they've basically done too well.
Yeah, like if Warhammer 3 has like got like this huge map again, and they've just like, yeah, fuck it, we've done the rest of the world, then I'll be like, blow my mind. But I feel like with I think what they've done with Warhammer 2, with having Bretonnian factions and Empire factions and Vampire factions in those areas without them actually like supposedly actually meant to be there. It's like, oh yeah, no, there's a little page in the lore that says there are vampire counts in South America. It's like, well, no, there isn't, but sure.
Yeah, I did wonder about that because like I'm doing a Tomb Kings campaign and there's like Bretonnians there.
Yeah, I mean those Bretonnians are there in the lore.
All right,
but yeah, but in the on before the Tomb Kings were announced and released, they had so much control over North Africa that it just felt ridiculous. It was like, well, I mean, ridiculous for someone who likes the Warhammer lore anyway, because it was like, Bretonnians, what? They suck in the desert. Their horses can't stand it. That's the whole point. That's why they suck it. That's why, and it was just like, what the fuck? But yeah, anyway, that's just me rambling about the inaccuracy of Warhammer fantasy. So.
Yeah, I mean, historical Total War is not that much better. So
no, that's true.
I don't know. It's like fire arrows that destroys everything, for example.
Let's hope they remove those from...
And explosive arrows. That's also interesting. Yeah.
I have noticed every podcast we do, Rex goes on a massive Warhammer rant.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It has changed.
What do you guys want to talk about instead?
What
do you think about the Tomb Kings? Let's talk about that. I know that Stitcher hasn't played them at all, but...
I haven't played anything in 2 years. Anything Total War related.
Not even
or anything new.
Oh,
I mean, I actually I just passed the anniversary for my my last video uploaded.
Oh, same. High five.
Well, actually not uploaded, but published, because I actually have a lot of videos that are uploaded but just private. Because I basically had 2 whole campaigns with Gahuli, with both kind of failed because of save difficulties. So I have all of them uploaded, but I don't know if they are ever going to come out.
You should release them under a playlist called the Lost Campaigns.
The save fuck ups.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could. So I do have a lot of videos coming, but practically,
keep your fingers crossed, guys. This might do a comeback.
Yeah. Don't hold your breath, because you will die.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm interested in seeing what happens with Total War, and I really like the Tomb Kings expansion for Warhammer 2.
Yeah, I quite like them. They're pretty good.
I feel like Warhammer 2 on every level is better than Warhammer 1, in my opinion.
Good to know.
Just so if you're going to get one of those games this year, get Warhammer 2. I know you won't.
Okay.
But if you were going to.
Sure. If someone out there is going to gift me the game, gift me Warhammer 2 and not 1.
That's the one.
Yes. Or maybe a sale. I don't know.
Right.
I mean, I'm probably eventually going to get the game. I just have...
Well, wait until
really
they've got all 3.
No interest. Yeah.
Once all 3 are out, and then they go on to like a bundle sale where you can get all 3 for like the price of 1 or something.
Yes.
That's a good idea.
Because it'll be good. The free LC that they've been releasing for both of the Warhammers have been amazing.
They released... Is it...
Tretch Cravetail.
That's the one, yeah. Cravetail, the Skaven Lord.
He's in the tabletop. He's the worst. In this game, he's really fucking good.
I know I can ask you as well. What do you think of the laboratory mode?
I've not used it because I fear my laptop will crash.
Yeah, I haven't used it either for the same reason. But I watched like the trailer for it, and you can have like weird stuff like no gravity.
Yeah, you can have no gravity. You can It's a slider. It's basically just you can mod the game with sliders as much as you want, and it's like things like, oh yeah, you shoot like 500% faster, and it's like, what the fuck?
Like
and you can have you can have something like 300% extra bodies in a unit kind of thing.
It's only in custom battle though, isn't it?
It's only in custom battle. Yeah.
I was gonna say you can't really do a campaign like that.
No,
it's cheating,
but
isn't it?
it's like. It's fun, but it's like a comedy mode more than anything.
So we were supposed to talk about Three Kingdoms here, and we kind of did, but then we talked about Warhammer for
we
for
went
like 40 minutes or something.
We had
nothing has changed.
5 minutes to Three Kingdoms, 10 minutes to Thrones of Britannia, and the rest of it just Warhammer. Thanks,
Yeah, I mean,
Rex.
I mean, all of my research, this all of my massive googling, yielded no results.
Go.
No, I just looked up like a bit of warfare, like military stuff about the. Yes, I mean they have to. Like one of the factions supposedly were like massive seafarers, and that's one of the reasons why they weren't knocked out of the war earlier. For example, like you had supposedly one of the factions are massively into using crossbows and uses like repeating crossbows. And like crossbows in general, but this the Shu faction, the Shu Han, were really into using repeating crossbows, and supposedly that was their thing. And then you have the Wei, which were into using heavy cavalry, and also had some tactics when it came to countering other people using cavalry. Because they were used to fighting a lot of step hordes, horde steps. Yes.
Hordes from the steps, you say?
Yes, steps from the horde. And they used like war wagons, which they basically they created like moving forts and all of that good stuff. So, and yes, of course, you have a bunch of polearms. Polearms were really popular. So basically look forward to quite a lot of variant of Naginata.
Yeah. Nice.
I've just linked a playlist from NG Paradox. Might have heard of his channel. He does a lot of Crusader Kings 2 stuff. He's done a lore series on the Three Kingdoms.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. Good.
You've just made this redundant. Link in the comment section below.
I basically said what I know, so I'm done.
Cool. So we know like sort of what the factions are going to be tailored about, what their like faction specialities are. Do you think that's similar to the way in which Warhammer is done? That there will be faction, and then you're going to have like a legendary, not like a legendary lord, but like sub factions within that you can control.
Possibly, maybe.
So
like
you'll have
maybe a different branch of a family, maybe. But...
Yeah. So you'll have like, oh, you've got this kingdom. You can either play as the king or the prince.
I mean, there are a lot of. I've never read it, but I know there are a lot of different characters in the Romance of the Three Kingdoms novels. So probably is my answer.
Yeah, so it makes sense. I'm intrigued. I mean, the thing is, we've got so much speculation, but we have literally no idea what this could be, other than what we've seen in the trailer.
And trailers never that.
And the trailer, yeah, you can't. I mean, if everything was like it says in the trailer, then Rome 2 would have been the best game ever created.
Nice. Carthage trailer, yeah.
Oh.
Pretty much. Early alpha.
That's what he says. Albicum. Well, the game is early alpha, and we just want to let you all know that we've had 70% bigger budget.
Yeah.
Just set up
marketing budget, that is.
Yeah.
Idiot. No, I feel more bad for him. It's like he had to say all that.
He is the definition of shooting the messenger.
Does he still work for him?
I would hope not. Or if he does, it's in like the HR department.
Oh, hang on. I type his name in. I typed his name in. The first thing that comes up, or second thing that comes up. Unofficial apology to Al Bickham for GameSpot interview. Date June 2013.
That was before the game release, though. Anyway. I did look up some of the battles just quickly of the whole war, And for a lot of them, you don't really have any numbers. You just have this commander was present, and that's about it.
Fair.
Because it's those characters that are like more famous than. Yeah.
It could also be that all records have been lost or burned.
Yeah. I mean, also, I think the I just need to double check this, but I think the whole Romance of the Three Kingdoms, which is almost like a major source for all of this, which is interesting, it was written like. It feels so wrong when I say this, but like 1,000 years after the things actually happened.
That kind of makes sense, though. Considering this is happening in, like, what is it, 180, 220, were you saying?
220. 220 to something.
Yeah. So
280, I think.
Yeah, so by that point, the Roman Empire was at its peak, pretty much.
Yeah, 14th century. That's when it's written, and all this happened in the 3rd century. So yeah. Think about that.
So we've got the difference between this happening whilst the Roman Empire is at its peak, and this source is being written whilst the 100 Years' War is going on.
Yeah, or the year 900 from now.
Yeah. Damn. That's pretty cool. And yet means that it's pretty ahistorical as well. Well, we don't know, do we? For all we know, the ancient or the medieval Chinese might be time travelers. And that might be a mechanic in the game. Fuck it.
DLC.
Time traveling DLC. The laboratory for Three Kings.
Yeah. Make the Chinaman fly. No gravity.
No gravity. Anyway, any last mentions about the game that you want to go for before we break it off?
Of those games? No, not really.
No, we don't really know much yet, do we? We have to wait until...
No, we have to wait.
Give it a few months.
It's our favorite thing, speculating.
Oh, man. There's always... Having a good speculation is always fun.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Because then we get to look back and see just how wrong we were.
Yeah, just how...
We're usually quite wrong.
How naive we were.
Yeah. I was wrong about Warhammer's way in which it was released, so fuck me, you know? I wasn't, but I was.
Actually, were you right about the whole Nemesis system? Like the big deal back in the day?
Oh my god.
That is so different now. I can't fucking remember what the hell the thing was. It doesn't matter.
That video was amazing.
No, it was about... So, yeah, no, because the idea was the fact that these guys can't take every single piece of land. It's total bullshit. And then CA were just let's not care about this argument. Let's just make it so everyone can take everything in a climate system. So the way they did it, I don't know if you've heard about the climate system, but you have 3 climates. You've got a good climate, a meh climate, and the crap climate, basically. A good climate you conquer them without any penalties. The meh climate you conquer, but things cost a bit more to build. You're a bit more unhappy, and the growth is a bit less. And then you got the shit one where it takes double the time to build, double the cost to build. You're very unhappy, so it's better just to raise those cities rather than to take them. Rather than say you can't take it.
Huh. But you can take it.
But you can take it. You can have the choice if you want to, which is really cool.
But it's basically gonna lose your money or something.
Well, it's not. It's very inefficient to basically have them. However, because of this other new mechanic, which is having special province buildings, so a lot of cities have special unique buildings in them. So it could be that this one bad climate province has Tower of Supreme Skulls, which gives all your dudes plus 20 weapon attack or whatever. So you want to take that province, you make a load of loss, but you get the buff for all your armies kind of thing. Anyway, that's
cool.
Nothing to do with Three Kingdoms.
Nope. Warhammer again.
We never know. It might be.
You love Warhammer, don't you, Rex?
I do.
Thought so.
Was it not obvious?
No.
I love my Warhammer. Anyway, I think this is a good place to wrap it up.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We
Thank you,
should-
everyone, for watching.
We should, before we end, we should probably do what we used to do. What's coming up on your channel next week?
There will be nothing.
Okay. Stissa, what about you?
Nothing.
What about you, Dragonheart?
Something.
Cool. I'm glad you're all informed.
Fascinating.
So yeah, thank you very much to Dragonheart and Cicero for answering the call to do a podcast and speculate. Yes, the rally point. Fuck it. Let's take that name. Yeah, and I hope that you enjoyed this unexpected podcast. And if you guys have any questions, put them in the comment section down below. Like the video, and we might do another one of these.
You haven't forgotten your ways, your YouTube ways. Still have to have a like.
Like, subscribe, favorite,
Yes.
share this video on Twitter and
Tumblr.
on Tumblr and
Reddit.
on
Reddit, yeah.
MySpace,
Instagram.
Bebo,
Yes.
Snapchat. What else? On
Email.
LinkedIn.
LinkedIn.
Yes.
Send it to your nan. She can join in. She might be our next guest.
Yeah, be fun.
All right. Yeah, I think this is a good place to stop. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.